Hey guys, Sean here, and today I will be listing my top 10 favorite Pokemon. You may have seen my Halo videos before, but way before I started playing console in 2015, it was all about Pokemon on the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo 3DS. I distinctly remember getting a Pokemon Black and White 10 at a Christmas party when I was young and becoming addicted to the wonderful world of Pokemon, a world full of adventure and personalized journeys for each aspiring trainer like me back then. Since then, I have played most of the video games, remakes, collected the cards, a lot, and you know what? I still enjoy it to this very day. I've wanted to make this video for a while, but a few disclaimers before I get into the list. For starters, this is my opinion and based on things such as how much I enjoy using these Pokemon in the games, how much I like their design, and other things. I will try to get into the stats and logistics of them, but keep in mind I do not know a lot about these said logistics, so I will take an approach based more upon how much I like them and not how well they perform in battle. With that being said, let's get into the list. Number 10. Gengar. When playing through the games for the first time, I tended to notice that the first Ghost-type Pokemon I would encounter would be Ghastly or Haunter. Something about these Pokemon were unsettling, albeit ghost-themed locations were always creepy with those weird NPCs. I think that was one of its biggest appeals to me. To be so menacing while being an enormous threat at the same time is what makes Gengar so futile. Originally created by Ken Sugimori, this Pokemon was one of the first concepts drawn for Pokemon Red and Blue, and this evolved into Gengar becoming a fan favorite, eventually gaining its own Mega Evolution in Gen 6. Being immune to normal and fighting types is a plus, with a high special attack and speed which could outclass certain Pokemon in battle. It does have low HP stats and can be combated against, but with its variety of moves it can learn such as Thunderbolt, Trick Room, and Toxic, Gengar is a formidable opponent. Number 9. Empoleon. You'll start to notice a very distinct trend here, being that most of the Pokemon on this list, with the exception of Gengar, were introduced between generations 3 and 5. I ended up compiling 150 individual Pokemon into a list and narrowing it down to 10, and most of them were Generation 4. Empoleon is the first of that trend. Being one of my favorite starters, this penguin is the final evolution of the charming and cute Piplup, another fan favorite. With one of the most badass final evolution starter designs, however, it wasn't hard for me to choose it. This is coupled with its unique water and steel typing, something not commonly seen in Pokemon. Nintendo decided to get more crafty with type pairs in later generations, but Empoleon, with its charisma, gets a spot on this list, and is often considered by me to be one of my favorite starters, along with this next pick. Number 8. Blaziken. So how do you top Empoleon? For me, it's Blaziken's design. You go from something so insurmountable to a fighting chicken. It is so awesome, and Nintendo was in their prime with these designs in Generation 3, often competing with Generations 4 and 5 as my favorite generation. High attack makes it shine here for me as well as the firefighting type that we all know and love. So why not Charizard, many may ask? Well, Sapphire's Pokedex entry for Blaziken has always intrigued me, explaining that Blaziken, mind you, easily can jump over a 30-story building. That is so outlandish, but I love it so much. Also, just look at this Mega Evolution. Number 7. Metagross. Clearing the starter hurdle, an honorable mention to Salamence as I thought about putting it over Gengar or Empoleon. Metagross is terrifying. This thing is a powerhouse. There's a reason this and its pre-evolutions are so difficult to catch. It tears everything up. Hyper Beam, Meteor Mash, Explosion. This thing was always scary to face, especially against Champion Steven. I'd rather battle Rattatas and Pidgeys all day instead. High defense, high attack, what more could you want? Number 6. Lucario. When I play Diamond and Pearl, or frankly any game with a Riolu present, Lucario is on my team. This thing is awesome. Its special attack and mega form is the highest for any non-legendary, and it's 4 feet tall, and it's... oh, wait. Anyways, Lucario is a Gen 4 fan favorite. It was prominent in some of the movies, and Aura Sphere and Close Combat are always a plus. I found out while researching this also that it is based on Anubis' Gods of the Dead. Pretty interesting for this pseudo-legendary. Number 5. Darkrai. Welcome to the top 5. We're now in the realm of intimidation for some of these next few Pokemon. And what better way to start with Darkrai, the Dream Stealer who replaces happy dreams with ravishing nightmares. Arguably one of the best legendary/mythical Pokemon in the game, Darkrai leaves everything to the imagination with its unstable power. You mostly see it in events, making it exclusive in many games. Also, Darkrai EX Full Art from the Dark Explorer set is one of my favorite cards I own to this day. Menacingly tough, Darkrai is always one of my favorites to revisit and learn more about. Number 4. Giratina. Man, Gen 4 really had it all, with one of the most intricate stories as of recent memory. Cyrus was evil, very evil, and to unleash the hell of Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina was utterly cruel and foreboding. Giratina is awesome, being banished for its immense power to the Distortion World, sitting there until someone uses it for bad or for good. This Pokemon is my second favorite legendary, behind my favorite, which I will reveal later on in this list. Also, mostly event exclusive, there's a reason why this Pokemon is so sought after. Number 3. Garchomp. Here are some honorable mentions of 2 Pokemon that did not make the top 10 list. Spiritomb and Milotic. You see a pattern here? Both Pokemon on arguably the toughest battle in all of the Pokemon games, Cynthia. And who is her ace and arguably the strongest pseudo-legendary in the entire game series? Garchomp. One of the many pseudo-legendary dragon types, this Pokemon also holds a permanent spot on my Gen 4 Super Team, and for a good reason. There are many strategies and ways you could use Garchomp, but at the end of the day, the theme is power. Better bring some full restores and revives when you go against it. Number 2. Rayquaza. I still hear those bell chimes and its legendary theme. It is so funny to me that this insanely creative design of a flying dragon snake stopped 2 other powerhouse legendaries from fighting and altering the weather. Rayquaza has been, and always will be, my favorite legendary Pokemon. Intimidating, fierce, powerful, this thing will send chills down your spine. The narrative significance of it is peak storytelling lore for legendaries, and honestly, this element has been lost in recent generations. And for all things heavenly, its Mega Evolution is the best design in the game, hands down. Its Mega is also paired with the unique ability of Delta Stream, which is very interesting. There's a reason I love Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald so much, but there is one Pokemon that trumps it. One that makes me decide what game to get if it is exclusive. One that I collect merch of. One that cannot be beat. Number 1. Hydreigon. It comes full circle. I remember playing Pokemon Black and White and being mesmerized by this thing. If you have played Generation 5 games, then you will know just how evil Ghetsis is, arguably one of the most evil villains in the entire series. He wants to steal people's Pokemon, kill them, and rule the world with them. And what does he do this with? Hydreigon. This 3-headed beast is lore influential as its move Frustration is maximized in power by the 0 friendship level this thing has with Ghetsis. This means it hates him, and his power is only strengthened by this. One of the last evolutions to get level-wise, This thing evolves at level 64 into a dark dragon type and can learn a solid move pool, as does every other pseudo-legendary. I also learned that Ghetsis and his Hydreigon can one-shot every Pokemon with the exception of Reshiram or Zekrom on his son N's team. I don't think I really utilized it until Gen 6 and onwards, where it was a big part of my team in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, and onwards, and was the decisive factor on what games I should really get. It's really that influential. I have it on every print of every card it was on, figurines, hell, I used to have it as my phone wallpaper when I was younger. Hydreigon's sheer power, design, and prowess will always solidify it as my favorite Pokemon of all time. I'm glad it's still getting recognition with Iron Jugulus and Pokemon Violet. Nintendo and Game Freak, you outdid yourself. Black and white Pokemon are underrated. And that is my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.